morning, everyone. Welcome back to Redline Garage Fab. So we're going to start this episode, unfortunately, with robbing Peter to pay Paul. So this is my other vehicle, which is a 1964 Mercury Comet. So this was actually my first car. The car is actually on like version 6. It started life as a inline 6 car, 2-speed automatic, like the most perfect grandma car. So this I bought when I was 14. It's been through multiple different engine setups. So currently it does not have an engine. I sold the engine to my buddy Bill. Bill, if you're watching, you know who you are. But it was a 408 stroker Windsor, had an 80 millimeter turbo on it. As you can see, had fender exhaust on it. But I've decided to change plans with it. So we're going to rob some parts off the car that the car is no longer going to use. The car had a 6R80 in it, so you can see that right there. So I'm going to take the transmission controller off of it, the parachute cable off of it. I already took the fuel pressure regulator off of it. Just some, and like the trans cooler, because the goal is to make it a stick car. So if we want to see this as the next build series, drop a comment below just to revive it. The goal is to make it a fun street car with a high revving, maybe small block or something else. I don't want to do a Coyote because something in there has a Coyote. Can't show you yet because still waiting for some filming from Anthony from the painter, but you need to wait and see on that one because it's going to be badass. But I mean, super cool car. Like, again, the car is really solid for being a Michigan car. But I'm going to set up the time lapse. I'll get the parts I need off of it, and then we'll go from there. All right, so I robbed the automatic shifter off of it. Here's the trans cooler with the lines. And then, like I said, here's the trans controller wiring with the parachute cable. I have the trans controller hiding in here. I don't want to get damaged, but I think that's about it off the car because I want to make it a stick car. And Sarge here, can't show you yet, can use all these parts instead of buying new ones. So the Hurst quarter stick, that's a C4 that I adapted with this shifter linkage that I modified. I know it doesn't look the best. This was, I think, 6 years ago I made this, but that actually shifts on the 6R80 really well. And then it's pretty neat. So the setup in the bag, because I'm keeping trans fluid in the ground, actually has AN fittings on it. So this way I can run your traditional AN fittings on the cooler lines. But yeah, I mean, this way I figured well, the car was here because it sits in my dad's trailer at the moment. So I have the room in the garage. But at least I can grab the parts that I need off of it for right now. All right, so I got some updates from Anthony. We're going to go over to his place and see the update and the progress of where he's going.
All right, so we are back on this thing, starting the body work. Epoxy's been sitting for a little bit now, a week or so, I think. Didn't have to sit that long. I had some other jobs going on that I had to knock out and get done for some other people. But so anyways, start blocking on it. This is what we're gonna do. I like this primer. This is another reason I like doing black. You can kind of see all them the dark spots. Those are all low spots. So you got low here. You got some texture here. You got some of the pitting in the metal. Some more pitting. Just highs and lows, hitting it with this block right here. So I'll go through, block it to where I want it, like it, and then the spots that I don't get with the block where it's technically low, like definitely here, I'll just take it and scuff it up with the 120, and I'll do it in one direction, a different direction than what I did before. So I can kind of see the sand scratches this way, and then I'll come through and I'll fill and do my body work there how I want. Normally you would probably want to get a lot of this better and closer beforehand, but we're gonna mud this thing out a little bit, make it a little better. Probably keep some of the waves in it. I'm not gonna mud that, that's too big. Oh, got a little fuzzy. That's actually not gonna mud that. We might try to maybe make that a little bit better looking, but the waves we're gonna leave, kind of keep that character. Dents and dings like this area, that's gonna get worked out We're gonna make that look a little bit better, but there's still gonna be some imperfections left. We're just gonna make things look a little bit better. Take care of some things. Definitely try to get rid of anything that's welded, and just make it look 76% better. And we'll be ready to go for another coat of primer, and then probably do a final sand. I don't know. I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna do a spot prime or if I'm gonna do the whole thing yet. It just depends on how things go in the next few weeks here. We're going to try to get this, hopefully shooting some paint on it next week. So hopefully body work's done this week. We'll see. I might do a couple time lapse maybe. See how it goes. The sanding stuff's kind of boring. I guess there's really nothing to see, but I might show a little bit. We'll see. Alright, there's a little bit of me blocking this. This is afterwards. These are all I know for sure are going to be low areas, so I didn't spend too much time on that. I'll just scuff it and swipe that. I got a lot of this out. Like I said, a lot of it's orange peel, little pims, little spots. What do you want to call them? Not pims. Indents. Stuff from the pity. That's the word I was looking for. Looks pretty good. Definitely. This one's a little bit lower than what this side was. You can see me kind of rubbing it when I was sanding it just to make sure it's a low spot and not just something goofy looking like this stuff. Like this, technically, this is probably going to block out some more. I'll keep going until I get close to metal or hit metal, because I'm probably, like I said, going to prime again. But you can kind of see how orange peely this was from the primer before. A little bit of wavy here. But that just kind of shows you what it looks like after you block it and how much all the little imperfections stand out. I'll probably just hit this by hand with a folded piece of sandpaper, get that cleaned up. I'm not looking to spend too much time on this stuff and bond to it or anything like that. This will get filler here. And then I'll just keep going until I get it to where I want. You know, there's other blocks you can use. There's round blocks that are a little bit nicer for this, but the round block touches the same way that the square block does, kind of. It's just easier with the round block to keep moving on that shape. So maybe on my final block I'll switch to the round block, but this does what I want it to do. And like I said, I know I got to body work all that. So we'll get back at it. All right, so we're still in the beginning, kind of, I don't know, front end of the block, and just wanted to show where I'm at with this. This, I got blocked the most. It was actually a couple hours into getting it to this point right here, blocking it the way I wanted it and getting all the details inside of here. This is where I'm going to do a little bit of filler work, but everything else blocked out pretty good. A couple highs, but I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, we're not making this thing like a super show car. We're just trying to make it pretty decent for the airbrushing and stuff. Then I went around with the block real fast just to kind of find my highs and lows real quick. I usually do that and then figure out where, if I'm going to like block and grind, or just kind of figure out my next step, or if I can just keep going. So a lot of this right here will get blocked out. That'll get finished blocked out. I might body work that a little bit right here. This is definitely an area that's going to get body worked. Same there, same there. The rest of it, I'll probably block out most of that. Body work the bottom of the door. Up here wasn't too bad. A couple of things in dents, like on the front half here. You can see how wavy it is up there. So we'll be doing some filler work up there, some filler work here. That was where we were playing with the metal before. So this helps really highlight the ugliness, and then you kind of figure out and go from there. You can see how wavy this back was. I'm probably not going to spend a ton of time on that because I don't want that much mud on there for one. And there's bars that are going here. The back, most of the back of the truck is covering, I believe, half of this, you know, upwards of half of this. So we'll clean up a little bit down here around the welds. But yeah, this is just where we're at. A little quickie update. I worked on these the other day. You know, these used to say, what was it, powered by Ford or something. These are the 5.0 covers. So I actually ground them down and then used a bumper repair to fill them. And then I did one light coat of glaze, and then I primered the crap out of them. I was wanting to show this because most would keep going with a bunch of filler, but if you get a good high build primer, this is Alpha's DTM high build. Stuff is super, super thick, and I'm able to block out what most would fill in with another coat of glaze. So I'll usually try to get it really close and then hammer on like 2 or 3 coats of this stuff, and it'll fill a lot. So I'll actually be able to finish sanding out the rest of those lines, believe it or not. So those are going to be finished nice and smooth, no texture, and then they're going to get painted and airbrushed to match the truck. So just another quickie update. Probably show a little bit more once I start flinging some mud on it. Okay, so we're on day 3 now. Got dust floating, got mud flinging. Got all kinds of work on this in a few days. I just want to show a couple spots. So most of this I already showed in the beginning of the video. Got it sanded. Got some mud work going. I haven't made it all the way up top yet. I'm just focusing on what I can do sitting on the ground. I'm not ready to stand on this step there yet. But went around with 120 on DA. Got most of it sanded. Started sanding this by hand, and I was just wanting to show the pitting that's in here and how well this stuff sands. You can see the texture in here from the pitting before. And then again, there's only 2 coats on this. This thing had pitting all over. You can see little spots where it's a little bit deeper than normal, but I'm not too worried about that. I'm gonna leave that. Mainly want to get orange peel out where like this is. So I'm just taking 120 and trying to knock most of this down. And it seems pretty good. Stuff like polyester usually gum up or just they don't block nice. I like this stuff. I like a lot of the high build stuff. So you can see here how most of it's coming out. And I'm kind of doing different directions so I don't create any grooves. The thing's super round, so you're not going to really get a good block on it. You can see most of it came out. There's a couple little baby pits. I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, we're not looking for perfection on this thing, so I'm going to actually show you some stuff when we airbrush. I'm going to kind of utilize some of those little pits, so when it's all done, we'll shoot the base. A lot of it's going to be hidden. You'll barely be able to see it, or if you do see it, like I said, I'm going to show you some things I'm going to do to try to utilize those little pit spots. And yeah, just want to show that real quick. Show how well it sands, and then also how much that fills, because it fills a lot. So it's a good primer to use. So we'll keep blocking on this thing, getting there. Got this side working on slowly, hard to see, but a little bit less body work on this side. I still haven't touched this door yet. That's mainly up here. Down here a little bit I got sand working on this door. There we are. All right, so we got an update for the end of day 11, bodywork, primer, all that fun stuff. Been going at it pretty good. Spent some time today. I didn't get any videos of it. I sent some pictures so he can stuff in the video. But did some more hammer work up here for an hour or so. Spent probably a good hour and a half of body working this out some more. So that way, just a lot less mud. I couldn't imagine how much was going to be on there. You'll see in the picture the before and after. So it's pretty good now. And probably going to hammer in a couple more coats of like some medium build primer now on it. Broke through in quite a few spots trying to get it smooth, which I'm fine with. I'll probably just coat it with the epoxy again so I don't have to worry about anything else. But it looks good. It's getting there. Hopefully 2 more days and I'll have it in primer. and that'll be the final primer. And then let that sit for a day or so, and then start doing the final sand and getting rocking and rolling on it. I got a week and 2 days to try to hit the deadline me and him discussed, so hopefully we hit it. Took a couple days off to try to take my time when it comes to the paint point. I'm hoping by Wednesday, today's Thursday, I'm hoping next Wednesday I'll start shooting color on it and get rolling on it pretty good. So a couple more days, the fun stuff starts. All right, so we're on day 11 plus 4, and we are ready to do a final prime on this. Got all the body work done, went around, scuffed it just to get into the little pit areas and stuff like that I wanted to get into. Wiped it down, wax and grease remover. I didn't wipe over the Bondo. I might have touched it a little bit, whatever, but nothing crazy. But you don't want to soak or saturate your filler. It'll take forever to evaporate and cause issues, adhesion issues and everything. So try not to soak it. I just spray the rag and I wipe the body down instead of normally you spray the body down and then wipe. So, yep, just spray your rag, wipe everything. You can touch the Bondo a little bit, just try not to soak it. So, I got everything the way I wanted. Did some seam sealer up here and a few spots all on the inside and stuff. So we'll get this last round of primer on, and hopefully everything should look pretty good and look better than what it did the first time. And then we'll sanding it in a day or two, probably a final sand. Everything should be good to go. This will be the end of this video though. This is all the body work and priming stage. It's been quite a few days and hours into getting it to this far, and even not being a showing car, there's still a lot of time into this stuff. So all right, we'll get this thing ready, rock and roll, and spray it here in a minute. All right, we got 2 coats on. Come out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. It's a lot smoother than what it was. Most of the stuff's gone. There's a couple little pinholes there and there, but not worried about them. We got a lot of airbrushing to do. We can cover some stuff, or I'll fix it before I seal it. I am gonna seal it beforehand, but you can tell it looks way better. Just some reflection. Most of the dents are gone. It ain't started out real bad. There's a few back here. Like I said, we left some character back here. A lot of character right there we left. That was a good one. We really wanted to leave that one there. I think there's a story to it. We haven't figured it out yet though. Cause that's a Audi from the innie. But it's a lot better. Roof is better. Couple little dang-a-langs, but she's good. She's gonna be a good cruiser. Like I said, I really want to know what happened there. That's a good one. I don't know. Especially if the seat was right there. Who knows what happened? Maybe Dominic did it when he was working inside or something. Who knows? Doing that stuff in there. But everything looks good. Spiffed up a couple of the dings and stuff there. Got the bottom of this door looking better. This one had a bunch of sheet metal. I think it was this side. I don't know. Now I can't tell which side was which. I guess that's a good thing. Nope, this is the side that didn't have sheet metal. So this side had sheet metal replaced, so that's looking a lot better. So we're doing good. Now for some color.
All right, so this is where we're going to cut the episode. He's killing it on the truck. And next episode, I'm not going to have too much to do here, but he's actually rocking and planning to have the truck fully painted for me to pick up next week. So what we'll do is we'll have just a gap, and then I'll get the filming set up for the next episode. But just make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so this every single time I post, you guys get notified. But I appreciate everyone always coming in and watching the videos. See you guys on the next one.